We led the wedding party back up the beach to the hotel where the food was hot, fresh, and ready to eat. There were breakfast foods for days and even a gourmet Belgian waffle station. An older lady was there making fresh waffles to order. She had a few different flavored batters and all kinds of toppings. It was small, quiet, and less than fancy, but it was perfect nonetheless. We danced for hours and laughed with our friends and family. I took at least 1,000 pictures, and by 10 o'clock I was exhausted. When the guests started to dwindle, Joey and I stood by the door to say thank you and goodbye. We got onto the elevator alone and pushed the button for the top floor. When the button for floor 14 lit up, the double doors opened, and Joey scooped me off my feet to carry me to the room. When we entered, I gasped. It was literally breathtakingly beautiful. One side of the room was made entirely of glass, giving you a panoramic view of the ocean from the inside. I walked on white tiles that were littered with pink and yellow rose petals. I saw the iridescent flickering of burning candles from all over the room. In the middle sat a giant canopy bed with sheer white curtains hanging over it. It held dozens of pillows and was made up with a deep green-colored comforter. Only feet away, there sat an enormous tub full of steaming water. Sparse petals and floating candles were on top. I opened the double French doors to let in the ocean breeze and walked out onto the balcony. All I could see for miles was salt water and the twinkle of lights from ships off in the distance. Looking up, there was a dark, clear sky, splashed with millions of tiny glowing stars. It looked like a painting. I walked back in and looked at myself in the vanity mirror, admiring my wedding dress and anxious for the moment Joey would peel it off me. I was a young, beautiful newlywed. My dress was still clean, surprisingly after dragging it across the beach. It was a strapless mesh-like mermaid-style gown with a lace overlay. In the front, it stopped at my knees, but in the back, it dragged across the ground for several inches. It was primarily see-through, with the exception of the bikini-style undergarments sewn into the middle for modesty. As I stood there, I thought back to our ceremony that happened only hours ago. I can't believe I am Mrs. Josiah Hunter. When I relived the short ceremony in my head, I wanted to kick myself for not reciting written vows and regretted not thinking about it before the actual ceremony. Joey was an old soul, like he'd already experienced life a few times and was wise beyond his years. He was far more advanced than any other male I'd met before him. He was kind, empathetic, patient, and free from judgments. Aside from being a fervid, unselfish lover, caretaker, and listener, he was also an innate protector. He was driven by emotion, controlled by spirituality, and physically well. He was made in the image of a titan. He was big and strong, and I reveled in the fact the women of all ages were entranced by him. They either threw themselves at his feet or were purely intimidated by his incontestable deity. I could only hope that he knew how much he meant to me. I was Joey's only addiction, and he was my obsession. Joey unzipped me, and I slid the dress down my own body. I released the pins from my hair and let the coils spill over me. I stepped up the 2 stairs on the side of the tub and entered the still warm water. "You coming in?" I asked, trying to sound sexy.
"No, baby girl. I'm gonna let you have that,"
he said, smiling devilishly, and set a glass of ice water by the tub. "Oh, come on, you have to get in," I whined.
"Nope. Drink your water. How much did you have to drink tonight?"
he asked, sitting on the edge. He was now wearing only his khakis. "Like a mimosa or 2.
"You sure, baby? I could taste liquor on your tongue, and I do."
I squatted down into the water, trying to avoid eye contact.
"I'm sorry your mom didn't come,"
he said, leaning down to look right into my eyes. "It's whatever. I'm not going to beg her to be in my life," I said, rolling my eyes to break the stare.
"I know you don't mean that. That's just tough talk."
Seriously, if she can't accept the fact that we're going to be together, then I don't need her around.
"Maybe you should go over there tomorrow and try to talk to her,"
he suggested. Hell no. If she wants to play it like that, I'm done with her.
"You can't just be done with her, babe. She's your mother."
Why not? Please don't be the voice of reason tonight. Let me hold on to my anger for a while.
"You can't. The only person that hurts is you. Baby girl, like it or not, she's the only mother you're ever going to get. I would have given anything for my mom to have been here today.
He said, looking at me and tilting his head. I suddenly felt horrible for not even considering how Joey would feel about his mom not being at our wedding. How do you do that?
What's that?
He asked, raising a brow. That thing you do when you make everything feel like it's not spiraling apart. How do you do it?
Years of practice. I've been around you long enough to know that the tone in your voice right now means sadness, not anger. Haley, you're beautiful and smart and so stubborn. I would never want to be the reason anyone loses out on a relationship with their mother. Whatever you ladies have going on, you should try to resolve it.
I love you, and if she can't see how amazing you are, then I don't want her around. Joey shook his head and sighed when he realized he wasn't getting anywhere with this conversation tonight. He mouthed the word stubborn into the air and just sat on the edge of the tub while I relaxed. After a 20-minute soak, he prompted me to sit up. He put soap on a rag and washed my entire body. He started on my neck and worked his way down to my feet. When he was done rinsing, I stood and he towel dried me.
How do you feel?
He asked, holding my face in his hands. Weird. No one has ever washed me before.
Drink your water.
He prompted, sighing.
We can't have you intoxicated when we consummate our marriage.
I'm not drunk, Joey. I'll have you know my grandmother snuck me a glass of wine every Christmas since I was 15.
Okay, so you've had a total of 4 glasses of wine before today. Are you sleepy?
He asked with a half laugh. Just a little.
Okay, no sex for you then.
He said harshly, turning around to walk away. No, wait. I lied. I'm not tired at all. I'm good, see? I could run a marathon, I said as I jogged in place while trying to hold up my towel. Joey laughed a deep belly laugh and walked over to the bed.
Lie on your stomach.
He requested in a sexy, hushed tone and pointed to the middle of the bed. I obeyed. After a few seconds, I heard the sound of his zipper, and he climbed on top of me. He sat on my butt, leaning to the left as to not set his full weight on me. Joey gave amazing massages, and I often wondered how he was always so good at everything. Years of practice. His voice echoed in my head. Joey and I did things I'd never even dreamt of. I was utterly unaware that my body was capable of producing immeasurable amounts of pleasure, with the right combination of location and pressure. After a sensual deep tissue massage, the foreplay began, and he never seemed to tire. His stamina was unmatched, and it seemed to me as if he had the cheat codes for a woman's body engraved in his fingertips. He planted a row of firm kisses up my spine, and my body ached for him. Even though I knew in the back of my mind I wasn't quite tall enough for this ride. All night we'd do things, take a break, eat, talk, then we'd go back at it. After a quick snack break, he grabbed me and picked me up. I wrapped my legs around him and we were kissing as we fell onto the bed. I licked his lips and down his neck. I bit his earlobe and rubbed his chest. I rolled over, pulling him on top of me as I fell. Now that he was on top, I knew he was going to have his way with me. And he could have it all. My heart, my body. Hell, I would have even given him my soul, had he asked. I was so in love and completely mesmerized by his every move. I heard the grunting sound and knew it was a warning that he was on the verge. When I trembled under his weight, he pushed himself off using the bed. I heard the light flip on in the bathroom behind me, and I really wanted to just lie there. When I got up, I could barely stand because my legs felt like jello. I hobbled to the bathroom sink and I got a hot rag and held it on my battered lady part to soothe it.